Nikikuona tu moyo ukasema, wewe ndiye jua la asubuhi. Kila unapotabasamu dunia inacheza, na kifua changu kinapata amani. Macho yako yananiita taratibu, nikamwambia moyo leo kahaba. Usinifichie lile tabasamu lako, inaniinua juu, moyo wangu unacheza, ukinitazama tu ninayeyuka, baby. Tabasamu lako inawasha moyo wangu. Tabasamu lako ni zawadi ya furaha. Nikikuona tu nafurahi sana. Tabasamu lako baby. Tabasamu lako. Ukimcheka maua ufunguka, na harufu ya mapenzi inarudi. Mikono yangu hutaka kukushika, tusitembe pole pole pamoja. Kila siku nawe ni sherehe, na kila dakika inakuwa tamu. Usinifichie lile tabasamu lako, inaniinua juu, moyo wangu unacheza, ukinitazama tu ninayeyuka, baby. Tabasamu lako linawasha moyo wangu. Tabasamu lako ni zawadi ya furaha. Nikikuona tu nafurahi sana. Tabasamu lako baby. Tabasamu lako. Leo tuko pamoja, mikono imeshikana, na ndoto zetu zimevaa rangi. Nikikuangalia nahisi kesho itakuwa nzuri zaidi. Endelea kunichekea, isahau dunia. Tabasamu lako linawasha moyo wangu. Tabasamu lako ni zawadi ya furaha. Nikikuona tu nafurahi sana. Tabasamu lako baby. Tabasamu lako.
Yes, Hamjambo, and welcome to our classes for the weekend. I do hope that you're doing well and that you're happy to be with us on this particular segment where we get to connect and learn Swahili together as a family. This is a BlackHotFire network media for the 21st century. And the name of the song is Tabasamu Lako. Tabasamu Lako simply means you smile. If someone is talking about they do love your beautiful smile, then that is Tabasamu Lako. And it is simply just a phrase which means your smile. And we yesterday in class we were also talking about other song titles. For example, yesterday I was playing a song which is known as Zaidi, and the name of the Jami was Zaidi Mshindi, which means more than a conqueror or more than a winner. And we did also have a comparison. You know, there are some words in Swahili which actually sound, very, very similar. For example, Zawadi and Zaidi. Zawadi simply means a present or a gift. But if we're talking about Zaidi, Zaidi means more. Zaidi means more. And if someone says zaidi ya, then that means more than, more than. That is the way it is. This is the BlackHotFire Network Media for the 21st century. And for those of us who join us for the very first time, I want to say Karibu. Karibu is simply the way we welcome or the way we invite you. If someone says umekaribishwa, they are saying that you are invited. If someone says karibu, it simply means welcome. If someone says karibu sana, then that is an emphasis for very welcome or you're much welcome. And that is just the way we do say it. And in Swahili, we can say karibu sana darasani, which is you are much welcome to the class. You are much welcome to the class. Yesterday, we did have a wonderful time. We were learning about pronouns, and we were saying that if you're talking about the first person singular, you would say mimi. And if, for example, you're introducing yourself, mimi simply means I. Therefore, you might say mimi naitwa Spikes, which is I am known as Spikes, or I'm called Spikes. Or you might say mimi ninaenda shule, which is I am going to school. And we were also learning about the second person, which is wewe. Wewe refers to you, or you can say u, the vowel u. We also did say for the third person singular, we do say yeye. Yeye simply means he or she. That was our class for yesterday, or our focus for yesterday, and we did really have a good time just learning and just getting to get better with our understanding of pronouns. So welcome to our class for today. I would say that for today our focus is actually a little bit different, and our focus for today goes to understanding basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. That is our focus for today. I want to share with us the notes right here so that you can see that for yourself. Basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. And in case you also want to get a copy of these notes, I'll send you a link of the same so that you can be able to enjoy it and find it right here on our script. But yes, this is our basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. That is our focus for today. And maybe perhaps before we start, I would love to know how is your weekend coming up. I would love to know how is your weekend coming up, and what have you been up to. Please do let me know, because maybe sometimes maybe you traveled over the weekend, or maybe you're trying to connect with family or connect with friends, or maybe perhaps you're trying to get an errand done before we get into the new week. But just let me know how your weekend has been, and I would love to know. Mine has been wonderful. I can't really complain, and I am grateful I'm grateful very, very much to the utmost. And for our cons, our focus for today goes to understanding basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. And I want to talk about basic Swahili. We are talking about things like greetings and conversations. So you're trying to have to greet someone and have a conversation with them. The way you do say hi to how are you to them is habari, 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 and you might say habari yako. Habari yako simply translates to how are you. Habari yako, it simply translates into how are you. And therefore, if you're trying to understand, then you can say habari yako. And this is just the way you do say how are you to an individual. If you're trying to say hello to them, if you're saying hello to them, we have already learned here previously that you would say Hujambo. Hujambo is a Swahili greeting, and this is a greeting to one individual. This is a hello to one individual. Therefore, you do say Hujambo. Hujambo, it simply means hello. Hujambo, it simply means hello. But if you're saying hello to a group of people, then you would say Hamjambo. Hamjambo. That is the word you would say. That is the word you would say. If you are in the coastal setting and you're trying to just greet people, you might also say shikamo, shikamo mama. For example, if it's an elderly lady or it's a mom and you're saying you just want to know how they're doing, you might say shikamo, and they would respond and say marahaba, marahaba. That is the way they would respond and say. But also in the same context of getting to understand basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary, if someone says kwaheri, this is just a word or a phrase, a vocabulary that means goodbye. If someone says kwaheri, this is just a phrase that means goodbye. And they might also use a phrase and say, tutaonana kesho, tutaonana kesho. The syllable tu points to we. The syllable tu represents we. So if someone says tu taonana, it means we shall see each other tomorrow. We shall see each other tomorrow. And someone might also say, excuse me. The way you translate excuse me into Swahili, it is translated into samahani, samahani. For example, you're at a meeting, you're at a town hall meeting or whatsoever other meeting, and when you are at this particular meeting, you're giving a speech or you're giving a presentation. So when you give this speech or when you give this presentation, there might be someone at the back. They did not hear what you were talking about, or they cannot make out what you're saying. So they would say, samahani, samahani. Samahani means excuse me. And they might also go ahead to say, rudia tena. Rudia means please repeat. Rudia means repeat. So they might say rudia tena, which is repeat. Or they might also say rudia tena tafadhali, which is please repeat. Please repeat. If someone is sorry and they're trying to apologize, not really trying, but they are apologizing to you, they might apologize and say pole, 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 and that is simply understood as sorry. It is understood as sorry. If someone wants to thank you, they would say asante, asante. If someone wants to thank you, they would say asante. If someone says no, thank you, if someone says no, thank you, which is not, I do not want it, they would say hapana, sitaki. Hapana means no, and sitaki means I don't want. So someone might say hapana sitaki, hapana sitaki, and that is the way you say. For a phrase, you met someone and they cannot really speak Swahili well, or they speak very little Swahili. So the way to say that, the way to say I speak very little Swahili would be ninaongea Kiswahili kidogo. Ninaongea Kiswahili kidogo. Yesterday we established that the syllable ni, points to self. So if someone says ninaongea Kiswahili kidogo, it means just I only speak very little Swahili. And remember, yesterday we were talking about the affirmative and the negative. So if someone is agreeing with you, they would say ndio for yes, or hapana for no. They would say hapana for no. And if someone is also saying okay, okay, then if they're in agreement with you, they might as well say sawa. They might as well say sawa. And there is also a phrase which is to mean I understand. If someone understood what you were saying, maybe perhaps they were asking a question and you responded to them and they did understand. Therefore, they would say naelewa. They would say naelewa simply to mean I understand. They would say naelewa, which is simply to mean I understand. If they do not understand you, they would simply say sijaelewa, sijaelewa. That is to mean sijaelewa, to mean I don't understand. I don't understand. And also, if someone wants to ask you whether you do speak any English or whether you do speak English, they would ask you, unaongea Kiingereza? Unaongea Kiingereza? Unaongea Kiingereza, that is simply to ask, do you speak English? Do you speak English? And remember, for the affirmative, you would say ndio. For the negative, you would say hapana. Or you might respond and say, I speak very little Swahili, which is ninaongea Kiswahili kidogo, which is ninaongea Kiswahili kidogo. And that is just the way you would say it. If someone is asking for your name, they would ask jina lako nani? Jina lako nani? That is for someone asking for your name. They would ask jina lako nani? And then for you, you would respond and say, my name is jina langu ni. Jina langu ni, or you might say ninaitwa so and so. That is exactly how you would respond to them. And those are some of the notes. Let me share the link of the notes so that in case you're wondering, or maybe you'd like to keep up and just open the same on your side. Let me just paste these Let me paste this on the comment box. So if you go to script.com and you will find this particular document, which is basically for basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. Basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. And I always do say, if you do have a question at any point, feel free to ask. You can interject, ask a question. Kama uko na swali, tafadhali uliza. At any point, you are free to ask a question, and I will be more than glad to respond to you and answer your question regarding anything that we may have mentioned or that we mention as we move along. You are free to ask, because if you are an active learner, then it helps you get better. You can ask a question, make an observation, an opinion, whatever you like to share. You are much welcome to do so. So I was saying, if someone is asking whether you speak Swahili, they would ask, unazungumza Kiswahili? U is, yesterday we were learning about the vowels, and the vowel U represents you, the second person singular. So if someone says U nazungumza, na is a tense marker. Na is a tense marker for the present continuous. And then zungumza is a root verb. Zungumza is a root verb, which means to speak or to talk. It means to speak or to talk. So therefore, that would be, let me just put it down. That would be, do you speak Swahili? That is, do you speak Swahili? And if someone wanted to know whether you do speak Swahili, then they would ask, unazungumza Kiswahili? Unazungumza Kiswahili? If the answer is positive, then you would say ndio. So if the answer is positive, you would say ndio for yes. If the answer is negative, then you would say hapana. Hapana or lapana, that is in the negative, that is no. That is exactly how you'd respond. Or you might say, ninazungumza Kiswahili kidogo. Ninazungumza Kiswahili kidogo. Kidogo means only a little. So if you're speaking, if you can speak Swahili, but not so good at it, you only speak a little bit of the language, then you can say ninazungumza Kiswahili kidogo. And you might also say Kiswahili kidogo tu. The two at the end of that particular phrase, just it shows the quantity is just it is an emphasis of the small quantity. So if you do say ninataka mayai mbili tu, then when you use two at the end of that, then it means that you are emphasizing only. It means that you are emphasizing only, and that is simply the way it means. If anyone has a question, please ask. Kama uko na swali, tafadhali uliza. If you have a question, you're free to ask. We shall take a short break, enjoy some wonderful, wonderful music. And the name of the jam is Nisamehe. Let me know what you think about this particular one. It's a beautiful Swahili song. And the name of it is Nisamehe. And Nisamehe simply means forgive. So if someone says Nisamehe, they simply mean please forgive. If someone says Nisamehe tafadhali, it means that you may forgive.
Tulianza na tabasamu, kisha ukimya ukakuwa kati yetu. Nilikusikia, sikusikiliza. Mimi nilijibu haraka, moyo ukavunjika. Ulinipa ishara ndogo ndogo, mimi nikapita kama sijasikia. Maneno yakawa kama ukuta, na hisia zako zikawa mbali. Nisamehe, najua nilikosea, shauku la moyo wangu. Kila siku natamani ningeupata msamaha wako, moyo wangu ukapate utulivu, nikureje bila hofu. Niseme ukweli sasa, sasa nilichelewa kuamka. Moyo wangu unalia. Usiniache peke yangu. Najua nilikosea. Rudi upumzike nami. Nilikosea, sasa nafahamu. Ukosefu wangu ulikuwa mkubwa. Sikutilia maanani maneno na hisia zako. Nilipenda kwa pupa. Sasa najua thamani ya sentensi ndogo ya upole, na kila chozi uliloficha limebaki ndani ya kifua. Nisamehe, najua nilikosea, shauku la moyo wangu. Kila siku natamani ningeupata msamaha wako. Moyo wangu ukapate utulivu, nikurete bila hofu. Niseme ukweli sasa, nilichelewa kuamka. Moyo wangu unalia. Usiniache peke yangu. Najua nilikosea. Rudi upumzike nami. Nipe nafasi moja tu nisafishe kilichovunjika. Nitamjenga upya yule aliyekuwa hajui kupenda. Nitasema pole pole, nitasikia hadi mwisho. Ukisema umeshachoka, moyo wangu utaelewa. Moyo wangu unalia. Usiniache peke yangu. Najua nilikosea. Rudi upumzike nami.
Yes, that is a beautiful song. And the name of the song is Nisamehe. So anyone might be wondering what the phrase means. The phrase simply means forgive. And this is a Sunday Swahili class on the BlackHotFire Network Media for the 21st century. As always, it's a delight to have you tune in. We never take your company for granted. And we do hope that you can walk these journey with us, getting to learn Swahili, getting to appreciate the new developments in the language, and also getting to explore the culture of the Swahili people, mainly from East Africa. Welcome so much. I would say Karibu sana, Karibu tena. And we are learning about basic Swahili vocabulary and phrases. That is what we are learning for today. But before we get back into that, I would actually want to share with you the official network website. And for the official network website, this is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. So please make sure you get some time and just visit us on the network, which is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Once you are on there, there's a whole lot of resources on there. For example, you can check out what is happening with Africa and Kenya news. You can check out what is happening with Black American news. You can check out what is happening with international news, international sports, science and technology, business and economy. There's a whole lot of material and resources on this particular platform. And therefore, do not sleep on it. Please make sure that you check it out. And also make sure that you engage with the rest of the family on there. I can never emphasize enough that iron sharpens iron, and therefore, when you are connecting with like-minded individuals who are just about, creating a collective African consciousness and also inspiring the awakening of our people globally, then you are actually on the rightful platform, which is the Black Hot Fire Network media for the 21st century. You can also click on this red icon, which is a visit the social community. And once you do, it will help you get to the social community page so that you can also find the social network of our BlackHotFire network. Apart from that, you can also find a whole lot of items that you can maybe patronize the network with. If you click on this BlackHotFire network apparel store, you'll find a whole lot of items, branded merchandise. For example, this is a BlackHotFire network dad hat, and also the eco-friendly BlackHotFire network hoodie. Yesterday, Kill was doing a show, and I saw him with a wonderful BlackHotFire network hoodie, and also a BlackHotFire network cap like this. So you can always get yourself one also, and you can find that on the blackhotfirenetwork.com /shop. This is where you can find it, and there's a whole lot of items on here. Even the BlackHotFire Rocks class, and even a BlackHotFire oversized tie and dye t-shirt, and even a flag, and even shorts, sweatshirt, a whole lot of items that can be that are available. Even beanie hats. If you love the craft beanie, you can find it. If you love the dad hat, you can find it. If you love the bomber jacket, you can also get the bomber jacket, and also they are very very well priced, so you do not have to worry much about that as well. And also the champion packable jacket, it's there. The distressed denim bucket hat. It is also available on the network website. So please make sure you visit, and also take your time. Take your time to also visit the network on there. So we are back, and this is a Sunday Swahili class, not Saturday, but Sunday Swahili class. And we are learning, yes, we are learning basic Swahili vocabulary and phrases. That is our focus for today. And if someone was to ask you, je, unazungumza Kiswahili? That is a question to mean, do you speak Kiswahili? Do you speak Swahili? And you might respond to them. You might tell them, ndio. Ndio, you can even shake your head like this. If you shake your head like this, it means that you are in agreement. And if you nod your head like this, then it means that you are not in agreement. But you would simply respond and say, hapana. Hapana is for no, I do not speak Swahili. Or ndio, if you shake your head like this and say ndio, ninazungumza Kiswahili, that would be I speak in Swahili. I speak in Swahili, or I can understand you, I can understand the language that you are speaking in. So we go back. I did say if you want a copy of the notes, you can click on that link I have shared with us. The link is available on there. So you can always feel free to check it out, and you can be able to see and move along together with us as we study and learn basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. So, what is your name? If someone is asking for your name, then that would be Zina lako nani? Zina lako nani? And this is the question. Yes, is the sentence here. Zina lako nani? Not nane, but nani. 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 Nani simply means who. Nani, it simply means who. And you can respond. And when you respond, you can say, my name is Zina langu ni. For example, if your name is Alex, you would say Zina langu ni Alex. Or you might say Zina langu ni Eric, which is your name is Eric. Or you might say Zina langu ni Monica, which is my name is Monica. Or Zina langu ni Charles Brown. Whatever the name would be, you can actually just introduce yourself and say Hamjambo, which is hello. And then proceed to say jina langu ni Spikes, my name is Spikes, ningetaka unisaidia na maji kidogo, and that would be I want you to help me with a little bit of this and that. That is exactly how you would say it. And we move a little bit from that and go into the pronouns. Once again, the pronoun for you, it is wewe. The pronoun for me or myself, it is mimi. The pronoun for he or she, that is yeye. The pronoun for we, that is sisi. The pronoun for they, that is wale. The pronoun for mine, which is a possessive pronoun, that is yangu or langu or changu. And the pronoun for yours is yako or ako, or yes, chako, achako, yako or ako. That is, ako is the root, pronoun right there, and that is simply the way you would describe it. We have useful verbs, and this is on the right, the right column. Mhm. Yes, these are useful verbs. If you want something and you are trying to request for it with the Swahili language, you would say nataka, nataka. For example, you might say hujambo, which is hello, and then to say jina langu ni Spikes, my name is Spikes, and then go ahead to make the request. You would say nataka kalamu mbili, then that would be I want 2 pens. I want 2 pens. Because nataka is understood to be I want. It is understood to be I want. If you're talking about to buy we would say kununua, kununua. So someone might say nataka kununua, and that would be I want to buy. Nataka kununua. Someone might say nataka kununua kalamu mbili, which that would be I want to buy 2 pens. I want to buy 2 pens. So for another phrase, then the third example here, for our basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary, we do have the phrase, and this is a question. Someone might ask you, do you want? Do you want? Do you want? And that would be je unataka, je unataka. Remember, yesterday or the previous day before, or sometimes back, we have said that if you're trying to cue or signal the start of a question, the best way you do that is by using the syllable J, J-E. So therefore, you might ask, Je unataka? For example, if they're asking you about food, they want to know whether you want to have some food. And then they would ask, Je unataka chakula? Chakula is food. And therefore, if someone is asking about you whether you would like to have some food, therefore they would say je unataka chakula, and je unataka chakula simply is do you want food? Do you want food, or do you want some food? And it is not difficult. What you need to realize is that with practice you become better, and you are able to understand these particular useful verbs in a very meaningful way. So if you're talking about to drink, then that would be kunywa. But for eating, you simply say kula. And if someone says listen, what that translates into sikiliza, which means listen. It means listen. And therefore, those are some of the very simple and meaningful verbs, and they form part of what we call the basic vocabulary and phrases in Swahili. So it is very, very important that you also get to master those. I did say, if someone is asking, if someone says I want, then they would say nataka. They would say nataka for I want. If they would say I want. So if someone is asking whether you want, then they would say je unataka. They would say je, je. It simply cues or signals the start of a question. So if someone says je unataka chakula, unataka chakula, je unataka chakula, then that would be do you want food? Do you want food? Do you want food? That is the way they would ask. And if you wanted water, or maybe perhaps you wanted food, or maybe water, or tea, or coffee, or milk, or whatever you want, maybe some juice, you would say ndio. Ndio is affirmative, it means yes. And then say ndio ninataka chakula kidogo, then that would be yes. Then nataka, you might say nataka to mean I want. Nataka chakula is food, and then kidogo is a small quantity, just a small amount of just a little food. So therefore, I want some little food. So that is exactly how the response would be if someone is asking you whether you want this and that. So therefore, the response would be in that format. You would say ndio, ninataka chakula kidogo. That is, I want some food. But a funny thing, when you look at the African context, and especially with some communities, when you talk about food, or when you talk about water, or when you talk about something to drink, like tea or whatever, according to the cultural norms, they do say that it is very impolite. They do say that it is very, very impolite for you to ask someone whether they want to have some food, especially when it is around lunchtime, or maybe it is around dinner time, or maybe it is around breakfast time. They do say that it is very discourteous to, or impolite to ask someone whether they want some food or whether they want some tea. For example, if someone met you at your house, you're outside your house, and this is in the context of in the village. So you're at the village and you're at the house, and you're seated outside your house. It's around maybe 8 a.m. in the morning, or maybe around 8 a.m. in the morning. So if a visitor came around and you're having tea, you're having your breakfast. So for some cultures, they do say that it is impolite for you to ask them whether they want. They normally do say that the best thing to do is to serve them. Let them refuse the offer already after you have already prompted to serve them. It's like you're asking someone. If someone finds you having some food, in some cultures, it understood just serve them a plate as well, and then welcome them to a plate instead of asking them whether they would like to eat or not. It is assumed that they are in the mood to eat. And it is around 1 p.m. at lunchtime. But that is just how it is. But yes, someone might say nataka chakula kidogo, which is I want a little food. But someone might say nataka chai kidogo, then that would be I want some little tea. Or nataka kahawa kidogo. Kahawa is for coffee. Someone might say I want a little coffee. And that is just the way you get to respond when someone has asked about whether you would like to have this or that. Je unataka chai? Then that would be, do you want some tea? Do you want to have some tea? Remember, we do not have articles. We do not have articles in Swahili. For example, like you would have in English. In English, you might say, I want to buy the book. I want to purchase the book. I want to purchase the book. So there, the article there, it does not exist in Swahili. So you still say nataka kununua kitabu, because for there it is assumed that in English it is assumed that there shows a specificity. It is very specific. It is a particular book that I want. I want to purchase the book. So it is assumed that you know which book it is, and that you know the specific book I'm talking about. But in Swahili, we do not have articles, and there all are, and such, or some, we do not have that. So you also ought to take note of that. Also, in Swahili, we do not have the X and Q in Swahili. Also, in Swahili, the name for nephew and niece, it is the same. The pronoun for the third person, singular, it is the same whether it is for a lady or for a man. You do say yeye. Yeye simply means him or her. Yeye, it means him or her. So yeye amepiga simu. If someone says yeye amepiga simu, then it's understood to be he or she has called. He or she has made a call. He or she has made a phone call. Nonetheless, this is the Swahili classes on the BlackHotFire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Pikes, and in case you do have a question, tafadhali uliza, please ask. If you do have a question, I would be more than glad to respond and answer your question. and that is why we are here, because we want to keep it interactive, and we want to keep it plain and simple. We do not want to complicate things. So if you do have a question, please go ahead and ask, and I would be glad to respond to your question in regard to anything that you have learned here, or that you may have mentioned, maybe even yesterday or the week before, because we normally do have Swahili classes on Saturdays and Sundays around this particular time, and the goal is to just teach you, whether you are at an intermediate level, just a beginner, or even a pro. We just want to be here, learn together, and also enjoy the beautiful language as the beautiful melanated people of the world, from Africa to South America, to North America, to Canada, wherever you might be at. We just want to hope that you get to, it sparks an interest in you of learning this beautiful language, and also maybe perhaps connecting and bonding with the people that speak this beautiful language, because they are just like you and me. So we go back to the notes. We go back to the notes once again. Let me share with you my screen, because we are talking about basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. That is our focus for today, basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. So we are talking about useful verbs. We are on this column on your right. If you can see my screen, I hope you can. And if we're talking about to eat, we do say kukula, kukula, because kula is a verb for eat. It is a root verb for eat. So therefore, someone might say ninataka kula chakula, then that means I want to eat food. Ninataka kula chakula. But if someone maybe perhaps wanted to eat fruits, then they would say ninataka kula matunda. Matunda is for fruits. Matunda simply is for fruit. And someone might also say, talk about drink. To drink, we do say kunywa. Drink is kunywa. So for example, someone might also say, nataka kunywa uji. That would be, I want to drink some porridge. Or nataka kunywa kahawa kidogo. That would be, I want to have a little bit to have some coffee. And if you're talking about to listen, in Swahili you do say sikiliza or skiza, but that is sikiliza. Sikiliza is the most appropriate, and that is a sikiliza. For example, someone might say, mama anaongea, sikiliza sasa. Then that would be, mom is speaking, or the mother is speaking, please listen now. Sikiza sasa. Because sasa emphasizing the moment, and the moment is now. So that is where we are emphasizing. So therefore, someone might say, mama anaongea, or mama anazungumza, because zungumza and ongea means the same. Zungumza means to speak or converse, and ongea also means ongea also means the same. So someone might say, mama anaongea, sikiliza sasa, sikiliza sasa. And also we get to the next question, which is, what can you see? What can you see? We do say, je unaweza kuangalia nini? Unaweza kuangalia nini? Je unaweza kuangalia nini? And that would be what can you see, or unaweza kuona nini? And that would be what can you see. If you wanted to say I like, for example, I like to have some tea and bread, then that would be napenda. Napenda, which is NAPENDA. Whatever I'm sharing on the screen here, that is exactly how you would say it. It's not difficult. I insist that with time, you get better with the language. With time, you get better with the language, and you can only get better with practice. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And so practice makes perfect. And I do hope that you can also find some friends, find some colleagues, find some relatives, and that you can, practice the beautiful language with. And that would be a way, that would actually be the way to go. We should take a short break, enjoy some music. And this is some beautiful music, and it is Swahili music. You can also use Swahili music to learn the language. It's music that has subtitles. You can be able to use it to learn the beautiful language as well. So we shall enjoy this, the song. The name of the song is Machozi, and you will let me know what you feel about this particular jam, whether it's jamming or not. And when we come back, we shall continue with basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. and we shall also maybe perhaps touch on something else a little bit, even as we continue to proceed with our class for today. But for now, let me play some music. If I'm moving too fast, please let me know, because sometimes people want to go with a different pace, and I might be moving too fast. So let me know.
Nilikaa kwenye vumbi, moyo ukiwa mzito, kila hatua ilikuwa ndefu kama mlima usioisha, lakini niliokota nguvu pale nilipoanguka, nikaweka jina langu juu ya kidonda. Nilikosa sauti, nikameza kilio, nikabeba siku hizi kama jiwe kifuani, lakini bado nipo, bado na hema, bado naona mwanga ukinipitia. Pole pole najisogeza mbele, pole pole najijenga tena. Usiku huu si wa mwisho, moyo wangu bado unajua kuota. Machozi yanatiririka, lakini naendelea. Machozi yanatiririka, naendelea. Najifuta leo, nainuka tena. Kesho ni mpya, naanza tena. Machozi yanatiririka, lakini naendelea. Machozi yanatiririka, naendelea. Nafungua njia yangu. Nilidondoka chini, dunia ikanyamaza. Watu wakapita, nikabaki na kivuli, lakini ndani yangu kuna cheche ndogo, haiwezi kuzima na upepo wote. Nilijifunza kusimama bila kushika mkono, kusikia moyo kinambia usikate tamaa. Kila kovu langu ni ushuhuda kwamba maumivu haya yakunimaliza. Machozi yanatiririka, kimya usiku wa giza, nalia moyoni pole, nikijificha na maumivu haya, lakini najinyanyua, najifuta machozi yangu. Kesho ni mpya tena, naanza safari yangu. Nilidondoka chini, dunia ikanikataa, lakini ndani yangu kuna moto hauzimiki. Ninainuka juu, napaka matai angani, kwa tumaini jipya nitaangaza gizani. Machozi yanatiririka, lakini naendelea. Machozi yanatiririka, naendelea. Najifuta leo, nainuka tena. Kesho ni mpya, naanza tena. Machozi yanatiririka, lakini naendelea. Machozi yanatiririka, naendelea. Nafungua njia yangu. Nainuka juu, nainuka juu, kwa tumaini jipya nitaangaza gizani.
Yes, and we are back with the class. I do hope that everyone is doing well. And we were learning about our basic Swahili vocabulary and our phrases, and therefore we were saying that if you're talking about liking something, then you would say napenda or ningependa. So ningependa is simply an easier way of actually just saying that you would like to have this and that. And let me also share with you these particular screen so that you can also see some of these spellings of it. So I like, it becomes napenda. If you're asking someone, do you like, then that would be je unapenda, je unapenda. That is exactly how you would say it. That is exactly how you would say it. And it is not any difficult. It's quite sorry about that. Apologies. So I was just saying that if someone is asking whether you would like, then they would say, Je, unapenda, Je, unapenda. That is exactly how they would ask, Je, unapenda, which is, do you like? For example, if they're asking, Je, unapenda ugali, for us as Kenyan people, there's a staple food, which is ugali. And maybe if someone wants to know whether you would like to have some ugali, so they would ask, Je, unapenda ugali, which is, do you love ugali, or would you like to have some ugali? But nonetheless, moving a little bit from that, we go into numbers. We go into numbers. So for the numbers in Swahili, the basic phrases and vocabulary for numbers in Swahili, for one, for example, one pen. You're talking about one pen. You need just one pen or just one book. For one, you would say moja, moja. For example, you want ninataka kalamu moja. That means I want one pen. Ninataka, which is I want. Kalamu, kalamu is a pen. One pen, then you say kalamu moja, kalamu moja. If you're talking about two pens, you would say ninataka kalamu mbili, 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 kalamu mbili. If you're talking about three, you would say tatu. Therefore, you would say nipe kalamu tatu, nipe kalamu tatu. Nipe simply means give me. It is NIPE, nipe, nipe. So therefore, someone might say nipe kalamu tatu, nipe kalamu tatu. And that would be give me three pens, give me three pens. If you want four, you would therefore say nne, nne. And you would say nataka kalamu nne. Nataka is I want. Kalamu is a pen, so therefore you'd say nataka kalamu nne, which is four. If you're talking about five pens, five you would say tano, TANO, two syllable word, no, tano. So if you wanted to have five pens, you would say nipe kalamu tano. Give me five pens. Nipe kalamu tano. If you're talking about six, you would say sita, sita. For example, you wanted to have six books. I would say, give me six books. Then I would say, nipe vitabu sita. Sita is for six. If you're talking about a pen, you would say, nipe kalamu sita. Give me six pens. And if you go to the next number, which is seven, you would say saba, saba. SABA, two syllable word again, saba. Then that would be nataka kalamu saba, which is I want seven pens. Nataka kalamu saba. If you're thinking about eight of them, then you would say nane, 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 nane. Nane is not to be confused with nani, because yesterday we were talking about nani, and when you ask questions in Swahili, when you say nani, nani means who. Nani means who. For example, nitazungumza na nani, that would be who do I speak to? Who do I speak to? If you're talking about nine, nine, we do say tisa, two syllable word again, tisa, TISA. For example, I wanted nine pens. I would say nipe kalamu tisa, give me 9 pens. If I wanted 10 of them, I would actually say kumi, and that would be nipe kalamu kumi, and kumi is not difficult. It's just the way it is. Kumi, nipe kalamu kumi, and that is just the way you get to express yourself when you're talking about 10 pens. 10 pens. If you do have a question, please ask. I would love to respond to your question. I would love to answer you regarding any question that we have touched on regarding the basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. And it is very, very important that you ask a question because we are able to interact more and you are able to also get a feedback, a direct feedback. It is very, very important. Let's talk about the tens. The tens, for example, the next 10, you do have ishirini. Ishirini simply means 20. Thelathini, thelathini simply means 30. Arobaini, arobaini means 40. Hamsini, hamsini simply means 50. Sitini, sitini means 60. You remember, sita means 6, but sitini, it means 60. There's that correlation there. For 7, you do say sabini because, sorry, for 70, you do say sabini. For example, you wanted 70 pens, you would say nipe kalamu sabini, which is nipe kalamu sabini. For the context of money, you might be talking about money. When it comes to money, we say pesa, P-E-S-A. We talk about pesa. Pesa is money. Pesa is money. If someone says nipe pesa, they simply mean give me money. That would be nipe pesa. Nipe pesa, nipe pesa. Or ninataka pesa. Ninataka pesa simply means I want money. But now when we talk about the local currencies, in East Africa, we have the shilling. So we do say shilingi. Shilingi is for shillings. Shilingi is for shillings, which is the currency in East Africa. We have the Tanzanian shilling, the Kenyan shilling, the Ugandan shilling. That is what you have. And then you have the francs in Rwanda, the Rwandese francs. And in Ethiopia, I think they have the beer, the beer, Ethiopian beer. But when you're talking about now the amount, you might say nipe shilingi kumi, then that would be give me 10 shillings. Nipe is give me, it's a phrase means give me. Shilingi is for the shillings. And then kumi is for the amount 10. Therefore, give me 10 shillings. Give me 10 shillings. Give me 10 shillings. Give me 10 shillings. Remember, we have the order of words in a sentence. And in the Swahili language, we have the SVO. The SVO is the subject, then go to the verb, and then go to the object, and then go to the object. So the subject, the verb, and the object. The subject, the verb, and the object. That is how the sentence structure is. So, for example, if you're talking about the child is sleeping on the bed, the child is sleeping on the bed. The child is sleeping on the bed. That would be mtoto analala kitandani. So kitanda is a bed. So kitandani simply means on the bed. So that is now the SVO. The mtoto is a child or a baby, which is the subject of what we are talking about. And then analala means he or she is sleeping. Analala means he or she is sleeping. So that is now the verb, and then the object is kitandani, or on what they are sleeping. That happens to be kitandani. So you also have to make note of that. That for Swahili, we do have the SVO, and the SVO is the subject, the verb, and the object. At that particular point, I do hope that we are on the same page. If not, please ask a question. I'm always happy to share with you a response. and we always get better by learning and asking questions. Remember, we have the official network website. Let me share these with you once again. The official network website. This is www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and it is important that you also visit the network website. There's a whole lot of wonderful items that you can find and patronize the network with. For example, if you wanted to get yourself some merchandise, some Black Hot Fire Network merchandise, we do have many items on here. For example, we do have the bomber jacket. We do have the bucket, the denim bucket hat. If you click maybe perhaps on page 4, let me see where it takes us to page 4. What items we find? Let's see what items we find. Yes, there is a polo shirt that you can get there. There's a sweatshirt that you can get there. There's an engraved silver heart necklace that you can get there. There is a flat bill cap. There's a flag. There is a long sleeve shirt. No, there is a whole lot of items that you can find on this particular platform. There is a tote bags that you can find on there, a laptop sleeve, and men's heavyweight t-shirt. It's also available on there. A whole lot of wonderful items that you can buy and patronize the network. And also, apart from even just buying anything or patronizing, you can find many resources. For example, the African Kenya news. You can keep abreast of what is happening with politics, what is happening with sports, what is happening with technology, and your support is also much welcome. Turn on the notification. You can turn on the notification by clicking on this red icon with a white bell. And once you do, you can be able now to find notified. You can be able to get notified wherever there is something that is going on, and that is actually a wonderful thing to do. So welcome back to class. And I'm just saying that Swahili is not a difficult language. And someone might ask, why have we chosen Swahili over many or all these other languages on the continent? Because on the continent, we have about 2,000 languages on the continent. I'm talking about 150 in Cameroon, 200 languages in Nigeria, 81 in Ethiopia, 47 in Kenya, 3 in Rwanda. We are talking about, so many of these languages. But we believe that Swahili has its special place because it is most prolific, very easy to learn. And you realize that Swahili, for all words in Swahili, they end with they end with a syllable with a consonant. Syllable with a vowel sound. For example, I've given us an example of kalamu. Kalamu is a pen. It has 3 syllables: ka, la, mu, and the final, the way it ends is with mu. Kala mu. So the mu has a vowel sound u. And all words in Swahili, they end with a syllable with a vowel sound. That is exactly what it is. You do not have any word ending with a consonant. For example, it's not like in English. In English, you do have a word like wing, or jump, or open, or lock. There is also no cluster consonant in Swahili. So that is also worth noting, that there are no cluster consonants in Swahili. And therefore, if someone is talking about cluster consonants, these do not exist in Swahili. And it is also very, very important to realize that when it comes also to the way it is organized, I did say it is the SVO, which is the subject, the verb, and then the object. And also, we do not have X and Q in the language. So therefore, it is also worth noting that there is no X and Q in the Swahili language. And therefore, any word that you come across that has a Q on it, that is not Swahili. Any word that you come across that has an X on it, that is not Swahili. That is just something different, and that you have to make note of. Any question? If anyone has a question, please ask. Kama uko na swali, tafadhali uliza. If you do have a question, please ask, and I will be more than glad to respond to you. If you do have a question in regards to what we have just learned about basic vocabulary in Swahili, I will be happy to respond to that, and I'll give you an answer for the same regarding basic vocabulary in Swahili. If not, we shall take a break. I enjoy some music because it's all about Swahili. And on the 17th of July, the world marks the International Day of Swahili. Just getting to celebrate and highlight the significance of this beautiful language. And this year is no different. It shall also be going on. And I do hope that more books are translated into Swahili so that people can also read them locally. And I also do hope that the language can also be embraced, even, the wider regions, other different regions outside and around the world, so that, we as a people can connect and be united even through this beautiful language of Swahili. So let's enjoy some music. This is a song. It is by, let me see, let me share it with you so that you can let me know whether it's jamming or whether it's not jamming. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me see. Let me know.
Hey, yeah. Woke up this morning, sun on your face. No need to rush, you're not in a race. Every little flaw, every little scar tells a story of just who you are. No filter, no disguise. You shine brighter when you don't try. Didn't see you leave your too. That's the truth in you. Just as you are, you're already enough. No need to change, no need to be tough. You were born not to be perfect, but real. Every heartbeat is something to feel. Just as you are, don't hide your light. You're a whole vibe, shining so bright. Let the world see the beautiful truth. There's no one else that can do you like you. Laugh a little louder, dance in the rain. Let go of doubt, don't carry that weight. You're not a copy, you're one of a kind. Magic in your soul, freedom in your mind. No rules you gotta keep. Be wild, be soft, be deep. Didn't see you leave your too. That's the power in you. Just as you are, you're already enough. No need to change, no need to be tough. You were born not to be perfect, but real. Every heartbeat is something to feel. Just as you are, don't hide your light. You're a whole vibe, shining so bright. Let the world see the beautiful truth. There's no one else that can do you like you. Oh, don't dim your glow. Oh, let your colors show. Perfect over rain anyway. Real is what will always stay. Didn't see you leave your tooth. You were made to move. Just as you are. Yeah, that's your power. Bloom in your time. This is your hour. You were born not to be perfect, but real. And that's the most beautiful thing you can feel. Just as you are, don't hide your light. You're a whole vibe, shining so bright. Let the world see the beautiful truth. There's no one else that can do you like you.
Yes, that is a beautiful, beautiful vibe right there. And if you're talking about the way you are, just the way you are, and this is in Swahili, you would actually say jinsi ulivyo tu. Jinsi ulivyo tu. That is the way you would say it. Jinsi ulivyo tu. which means just the way you are. Jinsi, jinsi, Jins, jinsi, Olivio, Olivio too, Olivio too. That means just the way you are. So that is the title of the track. That is the title of the beautiful track right there. And I do hope that you have enjoyed it, the song, and that you are jamming. So once again, Swahili 5 hours. We are back, and if you raise your palm like this, you put your hand up like this. You can represent the five vowels with your, or you can use your palm, a hand, to represent the five vowels in Swahili. Say a, e, o, u. And those five vowels, we have singled out three of them. When you did say a, the vowel a can be used to represent the second person. The third person, third person singular, which is the vowel a. For example, anaimba wimbo simply means he or she is singing. So the vowel a can be used in that regard to represent that particular the pronoun for he or she, and you can say anaimba wimbo. If you say anakula chakula simply means he or she is eating food. So for the five vowels, I always give those examples: a, e, o, u. Those are the five vowels. And if we talk about these particular vowels, we have singled out the three of them: the vowel a, the vowel e, and the vowel u. Those are three important vowels because they can also be used as a pronoun. It can also be used as a pronoun when it comes to constructing sentences in Swahili. If you do say a nakula chakula, a nakula chakula, anakula chakula, anakula chakula, anakula chakula, then that is he or she is eating food. Is eating food. Anakula chakula. He or she is eating food. That is the way you would say it, that he or she is eating food. If you do say anataka kulala, then that would be he or she wants to sleep. If you do say anasafiri usiku, then that would be he or she is traveling. So the is used to represent he or she, and you can say anaimba wimbo mzuri, which means he or she is singing a good song. So we also do have the vowel u, on the screen once again. The vowel u represents you. It represents you, the second person singular. You, the second person singular. For example, u nakula chakula. Let me just put it. The vowel u nakula chakula, unakula chakula. That is, you are eating food. You are eating food. That is the way it applies in that particular sentence, that you are eating food. U nakula chakula, it applies in that sense that the vowel u can also be used to represent the pronoun for the second person you, or wewe. Wewe unakula chakula. You don't have to say wewe, but wewe. Yesterday when you're learning pronouns, you did say the pronoun for you is wewe. For the second person is wewe. For the second person singular. But if you're talking about the second person plural, you would say nyinyi or ninyi. Nyinyi or ninyi, because you might say nyinyi mnakula chakula, nyinyi mnakula chakula. And that is just the way it is. But let's go back to these basic Swahili words and phrases so that we can get to understand them much more and much better. Let me share them with you on the screen. Let me share them, the notes with you right here. So for the numbers, we have already talked about the numbers. You have said that the numbers are moja, mbili. For your finger, if you're talking about this finger, you would say moja, mbili, tatu, nne, tano, sita, saba, nane, tisa, kumi. For your 10 fingers, you would say 10. You would say kumi. You would say vidole kumi. Kidole is one. Kidole means a finger. But if you talk about the plural of it, you would say vidole. Kidole, vidole. Kidole, vidole. So you might say vidole kumi. Vidole kumi simply means 10 fingers. It simply means 10 fingers. So we also do have these general, children's general. So if you're talking about a child, you do say mtoto for a child. If you're talking about your child, for example, your child, you would say mtoto wako, mtoto wako. If you're talking about your children, you would say watoto wako, watoto wako. Also, there is the prompt or the command, not really a command, but the request. For example, if someone is telling you, come here, if someone says, come here, the phrase come here in Swahili, we do say kuja hapa or njoo hapa. That is the way we interpret that into Swahili. For example, if someone is looking for you and they want you to be at a particular place where they want you there, then they would say njoo hapa or kuja hapa. Njoo hapa or kuja hapa. If someone says wait for a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, if someone is busy and they're trying to, they're on another call, or maybe they are, they're busy doing something, they will tell you wait a minute, and wait a minute, that is a subiri kidogo. Subiri kidogo, that is wait for a minute. If someone is welcoming to the house, and they can say take a seat or sit down, then they would say ka chini, because down you do say chini. When say sit down, that is ka chini, or keti chini, or ka chini. If someone means stand up, maybe you've been seated for a minute and they want to request you to stand up, they would say simama, simama, simama. For example, someone might say simama sasa. I did say that the word sasa, it is an emphasis for now. So someone says simama sasa, they mean stand up now, stand up now. If they do say keti chini sasa, it means sit down now. So whatever they do say after sasa, before sasa, it means that they want it done promptly or at the moment. If you're talking about stop it, you would say acha, that is a stop it, acha, acha. If you're saying look is a verb, and you would say angalia, angalia. If you're talking about listen, you would say sikiliza, I think we had mentioned this a little bit up earlier. If you want to request for something, and you want to say give me, then you would say nipe mimi or nipe. You can say nipe. Nipe is give me. Nipe is give me. If someone is instructing you to be quiet, then they would say nyamaza. For example, you're almost in danger, and maybe there is something that they're wanting you to just be quiet. They would say nyamaza, and yamaza, nyamaza. If someone wants to inquire a question from you and they want to know why you are crying, they would say kwa nini unalia, or unalia kwa nini. Then that would be the proper way to ask kwa nini unalia, which is why are you crying? Why are you crying? If someone wanted to know what you want, maybe you went to a convenience store, or you went to a library, or you went to a place where you're looking for something, someone might want to know what you want. So if someone wanted to ask you that, they would ask you unataka nini, unataka nini. Remember that we said nataka simply means I want. Nataka, it simply means I want. Nataka, it simply means I want. So if someone wanted to know what you want, they would ask unataka nini, unataka nini, unataka nini, unataka nini, then that would be what do you want. Unataka nini becomes what do you want. Someone might say ninataka kalamu mbili. For example, they're just asking what you want. Maybe perhaps you're at a store and you're trying to buy some things that have to do with stationery. You might say kitabu kimoja, that would be one book. Or you might say nataka kalamu moja, then that is one pen. Or you might say nataka simu. For phone, you simply say simu. For phone, you say simu, SIMU. Nataka simu. Nataka kununua simu. Nunua is a verb. Nunua is a verb for buying. Nunua is buy. So if someone asks unataka nini is what do you want? It is what do you want. and you might respond and say nataka kalamu mbili, which is I want to pen. Or you can respond and say ninataka kununua gari. Maybe you at a dealership and you're trying to buy something. You might say nataka kununua this and that, and it is not difficult. It is very very easy. What you need to do is to keep on practicing, and once you practice, it becomes much easier. It becomes much easier for you. We continue with Swahili phrases and vocabulary. If you have a question, please ask. I will be more than glad. I will be more than glad. I will be more than glad to respond and answer. So if someone says unataka nini, and you are wondering where this and that is, you might ask, je, kalamu iko wapi? Or kalamu ziko wapi? So iko wapi is just a phrase. Iko wapi, it is a phrase for where is it. It is a phrase for where is it. Iko wapi is a phrase, or is a question, is a phrase and a question for where is it. Where is it? So therefore, if someone is asking unataka nini, then you respond nataka kalamu, nataka kalamu iko wapi. Say iko wapi kalamu, which is where is a pen, where is a pen, and it is not any difficult. That is just simply the way you get to ask your questions. I don't know what you allowed this particular weekend, but I want to thank you so much for being together with us and for learning Swahili together with us. But please make sure that you are still very active, and you can ask the question at any particular point, because I would love to respond, and I would love to help you understand the language better. If you ever get a chance to go to Tanzania, Swahili is a language of instruction, even in classes. I always do say that if you're studying chemistry, or if you're studying physics, or if you're studying social, whatever social sciences, and even mathematics, which is called isibati, then you would be instructed, or you would be taught in Swahili if you are in Tanzania. It is interesting because for the former president who passed on Samia's a few years back, John Magufuli. John Magufuli was advocating for the language to be introduced even into the Southern African region, because there's a bloc which is known as the SADC. SADC is known as the Southern African Development Cooperation, which brings together countries from the Southern region, for example, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and others. I believe even Tanzania is a member of the SADC, even though it is not at the bottom, at the south geographically. But it was a nice idea because we did see an effort even by the South African president. I think that was Jacob Zuma back then, if I'm not mistaken. This is Jacob Zuma or Ramaphosa. I'm not sure whether it was Ramaphosa or Jacob Zuma. But they also decided to have a memorandum, sign a memorandum between the government of South Africa and that of Kenya, so that we can have Swahili tutors from Kenya go and train people Swahili in South Africa, which is actually was actually a positive thing. Right now, I cannot speak a whole lot on the same, because I don't know what has been happening with the situation of xenophobia. Because even as you try to have more to integrate as an African people, we are still having challenges. I think most of the challenges are challenges of mindset, because they think that if you are a foreigner and you go into South Africa, you're going to steal their jobs, which is, I don't believe that is the case. I think this is just more of a propaganda, and the way it has been pushed and designed so that the South Africans feel that they need to push out everyone else. But the question is, why are the same South Africans, the majority of the black majority, why will they not actually take back the so-called jobs or the so-called opportunities from the white man in South Africa? They are questions that you ask the Mzungu. The Mzungu themselves, they are not being kicked out. The fellow Africans, the Zimbabweans, the Nigerians, the Ghanaians, those are the ones that are actually getting dealt the blow, because they are being chased up, because you're told you're picking up opportunities, you are here and doing this and that, doing this and that, and it does not make any sense to me if that is if there was any sincerity in that matter. It does not make any sense if you get to ask me. But yes, SADC is a South African Development Corporation, and so Swahili was also being introduced to that region. And I do hope that as we move along, even for Jamaica, I would hope that even as Swahili becomes prolific to a level that even Jamaicans are interested in the language, or even our people from Brazil. Because in Brazil, if you go to some parts of Brazil, you will find a whole lot of black communities, and they are there, melanated brothers and sisters, they are there. So if there was also an introduction of Swahili in the same, it sparks that interest, and that well, it sparks that interest for someone to want to reconnect and also build with fellow African people through the language and also through knowledge of the culture, which is a very, very beautiful thing. Once again, Saturday and Sunday Swahili classes, they do get to happen every Saturday and Sunday. We get an opportunity to just kick back and just learn some Swahili. It's easy. We do not, we make it straight, nice and easy. We make it nice and easy so that it for your digest, so that you can digest it easy. We do not want to complicate things and make things super, super difficult. No, that is not a goal. That is not our goal. For our next week, sorry, for next week, um, we shall we shall focus on adjectives, that is the Swahili grammar adjectives, and that is the link. I've shared with us the link right there, so that you can get to see that. And the adjectives, they describe things. The adjectives, they get to describe things. For example, they Swahili adjectives are words that describe or modify another person or thing on a sentence. So while in English an adjective doesn't change when the noun changes, in Swahili an adjective should agree with the noun class. For example, mtoto mzuri, amefika. Let me share these with you also, so we can get a little bit into that. I don't think we. No. Let's. Let me see. Let's organize that better for next time. So let's finish up with. I don't want to get everything mixed up. Let's finish up with the basic words and phrases and vocabulary, because those are the words that will come up in a day-to-day conversation from maybe perhaps you're at visiting a friend, or you're at your house, or you're at the convenience store. These are the words that will come up in conversations, and phrases that will come up in conversations. And that is why we are learning about these basic Swahili words and phrases and vocabulary, and they are meant to help you even do basic communication. You don't have to be the best Swahili speaker, but with the knowledge of these basic words and phrases, you can continue to improve with your language. So when it comes to meal times, on the basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary, someone might say, wash your hands. You're trying to have some meat and ugali, and that meat has been served on a platter. It's a big platter, a silver platter, which is big, and you want to just start eating. Before you eat, you'll have to wash your hands. So the way you refer to wash your hands, the phrase "wash your hands" is nawa mikono. Kunawa mikono means to clean your hands. Kunawa mikono, the NAWA means nawa. Nawa is to like wash your hands. Kunawa mikono. And if someone is talking about the food itself, we have said that the food is known as chakula. If something is hot, we would say moto. If something is hot, then we would say moto. For example, if the food is hot, you would say chakula moto. Chakula moto. If something is cold, we would say baridi, and that would be chakula baridi. For example, if you're having some coffee and it's hot, then you would say kahawa moto. Kahawa moto is simply hot coffee. But if you're talking about cold coffee, I don't think anyone loves to have their coffee cold. But you can say kahawa baridi. Kahawa baridi. So if you are hungry, you would say nina njaa or niko na njaa. Njaa is hunger. So if you're hungry, you say niko na njaa or ninahisi njaa. That is the way it is. That is the way you would say it when it comes to these words that have to do with the etiquette of at the table, and you're trying to eat or you're trying to drink. That is just the way you would say it, and it is not any difficult. So we also go into the body parts. We might mention them in a day-to-day conversation. And for example, your hands. If you raise up your hand like this, you're talking about mkono. Mkono is a hand. If someone says raise your hand, they would say inua mkono. Mkono, inua mkono. That is a raise your hand, inua mkono. If you're talking about the feet, you would say mguu, 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 M-G-W, mguu. And therefore, if you're talking about mguu wangu unauma, my foot or my leg is aching. Mguu wangu unauma. When we talk about the tummy, we do say tumbo, tumbo. So if someone wants to say that the tummy is hurting, they will say tumbo langu linauma. That would be naumwa na tumbo or tumbo langu linauma, which is my tummy or my stomach is aching. If you talk about now the head, for the head, you simply would say kichwa, kichwa. So if someone has a headache, you'd say kichwa kinamuuma, which is the head. He has a headache, he or she has a headache. When we talk about the arm, it is mkono, like I did say, the leg is mguu. But if we're talking about the back, like your back, you would say mgongo, mgongo. If someone, your back is aching, you'd say mgongo wangu unauma, mgongo wangu unauma, mgongo wangu unauma, which is the back is aching. If we're talking about the eyes, the eye, your eye, you would say jicho for one eye. But if you're talking about many eyes, then you would say macho, macho. You would say macho for many eyes. But if you're also talking about the ear, you would say sikio, sikio. Sikio is for the ear. And if you're talking about both ears, then you would say masikio. You would say masikio, and that is for both ears. You would say masikio. But if you're talking about one, then that would be sikio, and that would be sikio for one. But if you're talking about both of them, then you would say masikio. If you're talking about the nose, you would say pua, P-U-A, pua. If you're talking about the mouth, you would say mdomo. If you're talking about your teeth, you would say meno, if it's for the teeth. But if it's for one tooth, you would say gino, gino, J-I-N-O, gino. Then that would be for the that would be for one. That would be for one tooth. For one tooth, that would be gino. To that point, does anyone have a question? Please ask. Kama uko na swali, tafadhali uliza. If anyone has a question at that particular point, if you do have a question, please ask. I will be more than glad to respond to you regarding your question. I will be more than happy to respond to you regarding your question. If you have a question, tafadhali uliza sasa. Sasa emphasizes the now. Sasa means now. So if someone says uliza sasa, it means ask now. Sasa, it means now. But sasa is not to be confused with sana. Sana means a lot. Sana, S-A-N-A, sana, that means a lot. It means a lot. Sana means a lot. But sasa, it means now. Sasa means now. There's also another word which is very close to that, but that is siasa. Siasa. Siasa simply means politics. 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 And I happen to realize one observation about our Kenyan people right here and even across the country. Our Kenyan people love politics. Politics is actually, I don't know whether it is because for lack of other better engagements or other things, but our people truly love politics. Even on the media makes sure that they overload you, bombard you with a whole lot of politics, political theatrics, and people quite enjoy to listen to that for some reason, and to follow up with that and watch that. Personally, I'm not much into politics, but because sometimes you do find that even the politics how it is conducted right here, it is mostly trivial politics. It's not politics of agendas and progress and development. It is mostly politics of who did that, who does that, who, trivial politics. And in that regard, if people keep on focusing on that, then it means that, we cannot really move forward to the place that we want to be. But yes, now we do have wonderful, wonderful items on the network website. Please make sure that you patronize the network website. And I did say that if you visit www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, we even have the men's Letterman jacket. It's right here. We have the heavyweight T-shirt. It's right here that you can see it. This is the BlackHotFire network. Even the premium polo. We also do have the minimalist backpack. The minimalist backpack. You can add it to your cart and purchase. We have the old school bucket hat, and especially this one looks nice. The old school bucket hat. It looks nice. So feel free to patronize. Get your merchandise. It will actually be delivered direct or straight to you, and you can actually enjoy a whole lot of that, and it is quite wonderful. We have these beanie hats. The beanie hats out there. We have the snapback hats. We have the short sleeve t-shirts. We have the 12 cap. We have a whole lot of items. There is a whole lot of items for your selection, and you can buy, and you can support the network. Also, for shows, you can find some of the shows right here on the network website. Yesterday, Keith did the show, and that was a BlackHotFire show. He hasn't done a show for a minute, but yesterday he had a chance to do a show, and it was wonderful. If you haven't checked out that particular show, you can check it out on our YouTube. On this particular channel, just search for the live from yesterday, and it was an amazing show. You can check it out, and you can also get to catch up with what the conversation was or what was going on with that, because sometimes there's a whole lot of lies and people talk about, there's a whole lot of disinformation and misinformation. And you do find that when it comes to real issues, you do find that those are not given enough time. But all these other trivial politics, those will actually find the light of the day. And, real information is actually being, what can I say? It is actually getting censored. Actually, that is what I was looking for. It is actually getting censored. But nonetheless, let me know if you do have a question. Please ask. Kama uko na swali tafadhali niulize. If you do have a question, please ask me, and I'm more than happy to respond. If you do have a question, please ask me. I'm always happy to respond to any question. If not, we shall take a short break. And this is a song that you will also love. It is known as kama hivi. Kama hivi means like this. So kama hivi, it simply means like this. So if someone says cheza kama hivi, they simply mean dance like this. It dance like this. So let me play the song. Let me know what you feel. It is a jam right here. Let me know what you feel about this particular one. It's known as kama hivi.
Nimeamka na tabasamu, moyo wangu uko sawa. Leo natembea kama maji bila pawa. Viatu chini, uchumi juu, nahitaji tu furaha. Nikipiga step pole pole, kila shida inatoweka. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko feel, usiku nishike. Nisukume kidogo, nikeze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi. Toka juu hadi chini, toka juu hadi chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi. Moyo wangu haukimbii, na uacha ufuate bite, nikikanyaga pole pole, nafika bila takatifu. Mtaa unaniona leo nikiwa na nuru usoni, kuna raha ndani yangu inachemka kama maji. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko huyu usiku nishike, nisukume kidogo nicheze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, yeah. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi, yeah. Toka juu hadi chini chini, toka juu hadi chini chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, yeah. Leo sipimi kesho, ninavuta power, viatu chini uchumi juu, nahitaji tu furaha, nikipiga step pole pole, kila shida inatoweka. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko feel usiku nishike, nisukume kidogo nikeze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, yeah. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi, yeah. Toka juu hadi chini chini, toka juu hadi chini chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, oh. Moyo wangu haukimbii na uacha ufuate bite, nikikanyaga pole pole, nafika bila takatifu. Mtaa unaniona leo nikiwa na nuru usoni, kuna raha ndani yangu inachemka kama maji. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko huyu usiku nishike, nisukume kidogo nicheze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, yeah. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi, yeah. Toka juu hadi chini chini, toka juu hadi chini chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, yeah. Leo sipimi kesho, ninavuta pumzi moya, mapenzi ya kawaida yanateka bila hoja. Kama unanisoma, ndio karibu taratibu, tule furaha pamoja, bila pressure, bila tabu. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi, cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi, toka juu hadi chini chini, toka juu hadi chini chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi,
Yes, that is a song that will actually get you in the dancing mood. That is very, very true. It is a beautiful song that will get you in the dancing mood with your dancing shoes. It is known as kama hivi. Kama hivi simply means like this. So if someone says dance like this, then it means that, sorry, if someone says cheza kama hivi, it means dance like this. And that is actually a vibe for the weekend. How has your weekend been? I do hope that your weekend has been wonderful. And I do hope that you are looking even forward to a great week ahead. Because I always do insist that, positive thinking also manifest positive results. That is my mantra. Positive thinking also manifest positive results. Because you cannot have a negative thinking and have positive results. That is the problem. But nonetheless, we are here, and this is the Sunday Swahili class on the BlackHotFire Network Media for the 21st century. Big shout out to Keith. Yesterday he did a show. It has been a minute since he did a show, and you can check it out on this particular channel on the live for yesterday. I think it's still it's up there somewhere, and you can catch up with the commentary on the state of things right now. As you know, the world is crazy. If you get to ask me, I'll tell you. The world is crazy. So sometimes things are, move too fast, and we might be caught up in a whole lot of propaganda, disinformation, misinformation. So you need to have a very keen eye, and also I appreciate Keith, because for him he has also helps you understand things as they are, and also sheds light on different things that maybe perhaps sometimes you might not have thought then in that regard or in that angle. Welcome back to class. This is where we learn Swahili every Saturday and Sunday, and you can ask a question at any point. For questions, we do say swali. Then that is what we do say. Uliza swali. Uliza swali is ask a question. Uliza swali. Uliza swali is a phrase. It means ask a question. Uliza swali. If someone says, give me an answer, if someone meant give me an answer, you would say, nipe jibu. Nipe jibu, because an answer is jibu. Nipe jibu is give me an answer. Give me an answer. An answer. I was just noting a little bit earlier that in Swahili we do not have articles. We do not have articles in Swahili. If someone says, give me an answer," an answer, an answer. Swahili is just jibu. We do not have like an answer or the answer. We do not have those in Swahili. But nonetheless, it is a very, very beautiful language. We have learned that for the numbers, if you're using your palm like this, these are basic. We studied about basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. If you're talking about the numbers, number one, if you put up your finger like this, numero uno, you would actually just say nambari moja. Nambari moja. Moja is for one. If you put up your two fingers like this, then you would say mbili. You would say mbili. If you put up your three fingers like this, then you would say tatu. You would say tatu. If you put up your four fingers like this, then you would say nne. If you put up your five fingers like this, then you would say tano. One finger, you would say a finger is known as kidole. Kidole. This is kidole. This is my finger, kidole. But if you're talking about two, then that is more than one. You'd say vidole, vidole, vidole. So kidole kimoja, vidole viwili, vidole vitatu, vidole vinne, vidole vitano. For five, we do say tano, which is T-A-N-O. T-A-N-O, that is five. That is five. So for example, the example I gave earlier, if someone wants 5 pens, there's a pen like this right here. If someone wants a pen like this is kalamu moja. This is just one pen, and therefore it is kalamu moja. This is just one pen. If you're talking about 2 pens, you would say kalamu mbili. Mbili is 2. If you want 3 pens like this, you would say kalamu tatu. Kalamu tatu. If you want 4 pens like this, you would say nipe kalamu tatu. That is 3 pens. If you want 4, you say nne. Nipe kalamu nne. Nipe kalamu nne. Remember, if you're requesting for something in Swahili, you might end your request with the word tafadhali, because you're very courteous and you want to say please. So you would say nipe kalamu moja tafadhali. Then that would be please give me 1 pen, or give me 1 pen please. Give me 1 pen please. Nipe kalamu moja tafadhali. Or you might say ninataka kalamu mbili. I want 2 pens. Ninataka kalamu mbili. Ninataka simply means I want, and therefore you might say nipe kalamu mbili. Ninataka kalamu mbili, or nipe kalamu mbili. Then that would be give me 2 pens. Give me 2 pens, and it is very, very simple in that regard. Do you have a question? If you do have a question, please ask. You can ask even why we do Swahili. You can ask what it is that is special, so special about Swahili. You can ask about the pronouns that we were learning about yesterday, because we did say that we have the possessive pronouns, we have the personal pronouns. The personal pronouns, we did say it is wewe for you, and mimi for I, and wale for they, or wow for they, and yeye for he or she. That is what we were learning yesterday. But for today, our focus has been on basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary. That has been our focus for today. And every day that we keep on learning, things become much, much more easier and understandable. That is why we do it, and we do it with consistency, because we want to become much better at the language. If you're shopping, if you went shopping, and there are basic Swahili phrases and vocabulary that might come up in when you are shopping. For example, you might say Karibu. Karibu means welcome. If you're at a store and the owner of the store says Karibu, they mean that they are welcoming you in, and Karibu means welcome. So if someone is talking about a shop is translated into duka, duka, duka. You might say duka kubwa, that means a big shop, like a supermarket, or like a supermarket. Yeah. If you're talking about bei, you say hii ni bei gani, means how much is this? Hii ni bei gani, how much is this? If someone is asking how many shillings, they would say shilingi ngapi. Shilingi ngapi means how many shillings, because I did say for the East African currency, we do say shilingi for shillings. If you're talking about money, money is pesa. Someone might ask pesa ngapi. Pesa ngapi is how much money. Pesa ngapi is how much money. If you want more, you would say zaidi, zaidi. All, you might say mingi for many, mingi for many. If you're just browsing, you're just looking through the store, and you just intend to find find something. You might say nataka kuangalia. All, kuangalia means to look. I'm just browsing, I'm just looking. And if you do not have something, you might say I don't have. You say hamna, hamna. Hamna means there isn't. Hamna means there isn't. So if someone is also like wanted to make a request, they might say naomba, naomba. Naomba is I would like. I would like. It is just a courteous way for I would like. Naomba. Naomba means I would like. Naomba, naomba, naomba usaidizi. Someone says naomba usaidizi, means I am asking for help. It simply means I am asking for help. So therefore they would say naomba usaidizi wako, naomba usaidizi wako, then that would be I need your help. Naomba usaidizi wako, naomba usaidizi wako. So naomba usaidizi, usaidizi means I'm requesting for assistance. I'm asking for assistance. I'm asking for assistance. That would be naomba. That would be naomba. That would be naomba usaidizi. Naomba usaidizi. That is someone asking for assistance, and it is not difficult. I always do say that the more you practice and practice, and you get better at the language, and things become much more obvious. Not really quite obvious, but you are able to see things from the right perspective once you do get to practice. So if anyone has a question, please ask a question. Tafadhali uliza swali kama uko na swali lolote. Swali lolote means any question. Swali lolote means any question, and therefore that would be the way we want to wind up this particular segment for today with answering your questions. So if anyone has any particular question, I do not want to leave the segment without responding to your questions. And it is very, very important that you get to ask anything that has to do with those are basic vocabulary in Swahili. I did say if you're introducing yourself, you do say Hamjambo, which is hello, and then say jina langu ni Spikes, which is my name is Spikes, or you can say Hamjambo, ningependa, ningependa this and that. You can say ningependa, which means I want, well, I would like this and that. And so it is not difficult, and also it has a gist to it. It has that beautiful gist to it, so that when even you speak it, even in music, like from that particular song that I've just played you, it is a song with a vibe, because the language itself, it is a song. The language itself is a beautiful language that has vowels, syllables with vowels that end with vowel sounds, and therefore, in that way, even when you speak in the language, it is a beautiful language to speak. If you go to East Africa, go to East Africa and go to a place such as Mombasa. If you are in Mombasa, you will feel, the vibrance of these beautiful culture, and through the language, you will feel it through this particular language. So if anyone has a question, kama uko na swali, tafadhali kama uko na swali uliza. If anyone has a question, I will be glad to respond to your question. It would be very, very important that it would be very, very important that you get to ask that particular question, even as we get into wind up. If not, we shall wind it up. We shall end it at that particular point. And as always, I want to thank you so much. Like I always do say, we do not take your company for granted, and also your support. We do not take your support for granted. If you want to support the network, you can head over to the network website www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And once you are on there, let me just share this with you. Once you are on here, once you are on the network website, this is what I'm talking about. You can click on this tab, which is the donate. You can click on the donate tab. And once you do click on the donate tab, let me just click on this here. Let me just click on that. So you will see how you can support the BlackHotFire network, and you can make any donation from $5, $10, whatever amount that you feel comfortable or you feel able to support the network with. You are able to do that with $5, $10, with $5, $30, $50, and even $100 or a custom amount, whatever amount that you feel that you would like to support the network with. We do get to appreciate your support right there on the network website. So once again, much peace and love. I want to wish you a happy and a productive week ahead. And like I was saying, there's a whole lot of things going on with the world, and also even the World Cup. Right now, we do have the World Cup. I don't know even any of us gets to follow the World Cup, but it's a whole lot of things going on. Recently, there's an album that was put out by the rapper, the American rapper, that is Wale. And he says that the title of the album is "Everything is a Lot." Everything is a lot, and there's some sense of that with the world today, as you look at the war going on with Iran, with Ukraine, with even situations that are going on in Africa right now with Ebola and things like that. You might get swamped and caught up in all these things, and you wonder what is the world coming to. But nonetheless, you have to keep optimistic and positive, and look at the positive side of life as well. I'm not saying bury your head in the sand, but I'm also saying have a positive outlook on our things, because sometimes it gets crazy. Nonetheless, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week ahead. Take care of yourselves, and please make sure that if you haven't subscribed or turn on the notifications, please make sure you do. We shall end it with this particular exam. Once again, it is known as Kama Hivi, and I hope that you love it, and I hope that you vibe into it as well, like I do right here on the network.
Nahitaji tu furaha, nikipiga step pole pole, kila shida inatoweka. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko feel, usiku nishike, nisukume kidogo, nikeze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza kama hivi, maisha lego yangu sina stress mimi. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi. Toka juu hadi chini, toka juu hadi chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha lego yangu sina stress mimi. Moyo wangu haukimbii, na uacha ufuate bite, nikikanyaga pole pole, nafika bila takatifu. Mtaa unaniona leo, nikiwa na nuru usoni, kuna raha ndani yangu, inachemka kama maji. Acha niende mawimbi yanishike, niko fresh, niko hii, usiku nishike, nisukume kidogo, nicheze mpaka mwisho, mikono hewani tunaishi leo. Cheza kama hivi, maisha lego yangu sina stress mimi. Cheza kama hivi, naruka nacheza najibamba mimi. Toka juu hadi chini, toka juu hadi chini. Cheza kama hivi, maisha lego yangu sina stress mimi. sipimi kesho, ninavuta pumzi moya. Mapenzi ya kawaida yanateka bila hoja. Kama unanisoma, ndio karibu taratibu, tule furaha pamoja, bila pressure, bila tabu. Cheza cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi. Cheza cheza kama hivi, naruka na cheza na jibamba mimi. Toka juu hadi chini chini, toka juu hadi chini chini. Cheza cheza kama hivi, maisha level yangu sina stress mimi.
Yes, that is a vibe, and I do hope that you get to enjoy it, and I do hope that you get a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Much peace and love. I want to say kwaheri ya kuonana. Till next time, much peace and love. Enjoy.